Last week, we saw over $1 billion in ETF outflows in 1 week, the most we'd experienced since Bitcoin's drop to $60,000. So now is the time to panic. The institutions are selling, ETF holders are offloading, they're dumping their Bitcoin crisis mode. I don't think it really matters too much. If we go to the ETF cumulative flows chart we have here on bitcoinmagazinepro.com, what we can see is after this recent run-up we had from around $60,000, we saw the cumulative amount of ETF holdings pretty much reach its previous all-time high, even as price was practically 50% lower than it was at its peak at around $110,000-ish. Since then, since this massive dumping and offload, the cumulative holdings have declined about 2.5%. It's just not that much Bitcoin. And we kind of anticipated this. Not many people liked to hear it on the channel, but for a few weeks, we go here, we can see Bitcoin's bottom is probably in, but I'm not buying here. That was 4 days ago. No, sorry, that was 14 days ago. This one was 4 days ago. We were right at resistance. We just hit the 200 daily moving average. If I go over to TradingView here, we just hit this upper resistance zone. We just crossed the short-term holder realized price. As I said, it was kind of to be expected. But of course, crisis mode. Bitcoin funding rates, after finally turning briefly positive, people are now shorting the market again. The fear and greed index is showing we're close to extreme levels of fear. If I just go back to TradingView, what we can do is add this on. This is the retail capital momentum indicator. And if you are a site subscriber, you get access to this BM Pro Expert Bundle, which is full of loads of cool custom data, indicators, metrics, etc., which you can set alerts on, do automation, all kinds of cool stuff. What we can see here is this is showing the relative strength of stablecoin dominance throughout the cryptocurrency industry. Essentially almost a monetary fear and greed index. When this is spiking to the upside, indicates that people are piling in to Bitcoin, altcoins, shitcoins, pictures of rocks, whatever it may be. When this is negative, indicates people are becoming a little bit less risk on. They're rotating out and into safe haven stablecoin assets. It's just turned negative again. After a run-up of like 30%, almost non-stop, 27.48%, we've now had a 6% decline, and it's crisis mode. If we look at what ETF holdings typically look like, this is the 28-day average ETF holdings. We can see it's very correlated to the Bitcoin price, and this is still very positive. We can see when this is positive, it generally indicates over the past 4 weeks or approximately a month, there's been a general inflow into these ETFs. But as we can see, it's not like they're particularly good at timing the market. When this is incredibly negative, it's usually coincided with local lows in the Bitcoin price section. I mean, if we look here, it's a little small. We have the rolling correlation between the Bitcoin price and the 28-day ETF holdings. And the highest it has reached in its just short existence is over 87%. ETF buyers buy when price is going up and they sell when price is going down. It's a little bit like a chicken and egg scenario. I don't think it's really anything to worry about. And we can generally see this is but a minor blip on the cumulative ETF holdings. And where we are now, as I said, I think there's some opportunity here. We were anticipating this pullback around the $82,000 region, $83,000, wherever we topped out at. We kind of anticipated that we'd have some troubling price action from there. Now, I'm not saying that now's the time to go all in. I do still think we have a few more weeks of chop, but around these levels, and especially $76,000 and below, we haven't quite reached there yet. I'm very much looking forward to the opportunity to accumulate those prices. If we just zoom out and look at this, which is the cost of production for Bitcoin, the electrical cost to mine 1 Bitcoin. And this is averaged out over 14 days or 1 difficulty adjustment period approximately. And with a couple standard deviations above, we can see accumulating Bitcoin at or around how much it costs to mine a Bitcoin has historically been an unbelievable accumulation opportunity. This is currently at around $73,000, $74,000, but trending to the upside. What we can also do is add on this volume range profile. And what this is looking at is the cumulative amount of volume at certain price ranges. Now, what we can see is when we hit these big, thick volume clusters, indicates that a monumental amount of activity and trading volume occurred in this region. Now, these are typically pretty good turning points for the market if we come back down to these levels. Because there's been so much activity here, people are looking to scale back in at their previous entry price. Maybe they're looking to, capitulate, and that Bitcoin will move to more experienced hands. But this is a pretty monumental accumulation zone, up to around $71,500. So I think around this kind of 76, like I said, around kind of this region here, looks like a good technical level. We can see if I just get this tool here, acted as support, then resistance, then support. So if we come back down and retest this level, or even come beneath it to around this $71,500 region, in this area, I think there's some discounted BTC to be had. If I just go back here to the Bitcoin cycle master chart, what we can see with this, which is an aggregated almost valuation metric based on a number of on-chain valuation tools. And then from that, we can kind of derive a almost fair valuation, overvaluation, undervaluation, etc. And we can see historically, Bitcoin has topped out at this overvalued line and bottomed out at this cycle lows line with an unbelievable degree of accuracy. In the most recent cycle, we did not reach this upper echelon of exuberant Bitcoin prices, but we did on 3 occasions almost exactly reach this aggressively valued line. The bull market paints the precluding the following bear market. Because we didn't get this massive exponential blow-off rally like we historically have done and didn't reach this overvalued line, the volatility we see to the downside is probably also vastly diminished. If we only reached this aggressively valued 1 deviation above this fair market valuation price for Bitcoin, then I'd maybe anticipate the downside would also be 1 standard deviation, which is this undervalued line, which is around $73,000. Right smack bang in the middle of where I think there's a hell of a lot of value to be had. And from a macro basis, this would still result in higher highs, higher lows, and just some general positive price action. We've just seen the S&P rally to new all-time highs and have a bit of a cool-off. Bitcoin rally nearly 30% without much pullback. This is just the way the markets move. Now, I'm not saying we don't see lower prices. I've been pretty vocal recently that I thought $80,000 would be a pretty major resistance, but also that I doubt we see lower prices than $60,000. I just think there's more of a time-based capitulation that we haven't necessarily checked off yet. But there's always the chance that we could go lower. I doubt we do, but if we look to the cycle master, there's a bit of confluence here. Around $48,000 as the cycle lows in the Bitcoin cycle master chart, which is also coinciding with $48,000 on this long-term holder realized price, the average accumulation price of long-term, the most experienced market participants within the space. So I think that's an interesting point to look towards as well. But as I said, I don't necessarily think we'll be going that low. I would anticipate in an almost worst case outcome, which for me, my base case just means there's over a 50% probability I think this is what happens. A retest of the current low we have around $60,000 is coinciding with this 200 weekly moving average, which has actually exceeded that at $61,000. If I just go to the 24-hour time frame chart here, we can see this has been a pretty good bottoming range for Bitcoin throughout its entire history. Now, the previous bear market was a bit of an exception, but this was pretty heavily influenced by the big FTX collapse and the Luna collapse. Now, of course, if we have a World War III or a huge blow up in strategy or something, which I don't think is going to happen, you can't have your base case as a black swan tail event, then of course we could go towards this $50,000 region. You have to keep in mind this cycle master chart and long-term holder realized price are also trending to the upside. But right now, especially if we can get in around this average accumulation price, immediately sentiment has flipped more bearish than I'd anticipated in such a short space of time. I'm scaling in here, but once we get towards this $76,000 down towards about 71K, I'm pretty aggressively accumulating Bitcoin. And for me, that is an unbelievable asymmetric risk to reward, strategic dollar cost averaging entry price. So just to summarize, The BTC ETFs just experienced one of the biggest weekly outflows in months, totaling over $1 billion of Bitcoin sold in just 5 days. One thing I didn't mention is earlier today, literally just a few hours ago, it's that siren, so you can hear the sirens, just moved into the big city. There's lots of crime here. Michael Saylor and Strategy just bought over $2 billion of Bitcoin this week alone, over twice as much output as the outflows we saw in the ETFs. There's a huge amount of demand right now. I wouldn't worry too much about a 2.5% decline in the cumulative amount of ETF Bitcoin holdings. It's just not anything to be too alarmed at, especially considering we were anticipating this cool-off as we reached major resistance. And judging by the fact that ETF flows, at least on a 28-day basis, and Bitcoin's price action have at times reached nearly an 88% correlation, it's nothing to really worry about. Just zoom out and keep to the plan. The short-term price action volatility is part and parcel, not just with Bitcoin, but with all markets. And even if we do have some more chop and consolidation over the next few days and weeks, which is kind of my base case, anything beneath $76,000 is very cheap in my eyes. I really doubt, at least, I think there's probably a 20 to 25% chance that Bitcoin does set low lows. So I can't have that as my base case, but I'm an analyst, so I need to have it as a slight probability, just so I have a bit of a get out of jail free card. But seriously, if you anticipate and prepare for any single circumstance, then you kind of get this probabilistic approach. At least in my mind, focusing purely on the data, because last week people really disliked that I thought Bitcoin would have some retracement. I don't want Bitcoin to have a retracement. I want Bitcoin to rally exponentially to the upside and prove me wrong. But taking a completely pragmatic, objective view at just the numbers and metrics, it's not surprising to see this move, but now we need to do so in the opposite direction. And looking at the data, I think there's some value to be had here. And if you don't agree with me, that's absolutely fine. If you're anticipating a bottom in October of later this year, then that's absolutely fine. If you don't like this data, don't use it. All I'm trying to do is relay the information that I see as honestly as I can. And, I think that's the least I can do for all you guys. But hopefully you enjoyed this content. Hopefully you like using Bitcoin Magazine Pro. If you have any suggestions of content you'd like to see, charts you'd like added, TradingView integrations or extra alerts or API data, whatever, then do let me know. And if you did like this content, then do consider becoming a site subscriber. Insert typical sales pitch. And as always, thank you all very much for watching. Let me know your thoughts below in the comments and on social media. I do look forward to reading probably most of them. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.